It's a rematch of Super Bowl 53 in the Patriots versus the Rams. Thursday night football. It's going down. We're just 24 hours away. I cannot wait. Mariah, Janos here, joined by Evan Lazar. We're taking a look at the coaches. It's Bill Belichick versus Sean McVay. Again, what are you expecting this time around, Evan?
I'm really fascinated by this chess match every time these two coaches go up against each other, because what we saw in Super Bowl 53 was that Belichick shut down the foundation of the Rams offense, the wide zone running and the play action passes off of those wide zone runs. So now what does McVay do? You know, what's kind of his other card in his deck? Does he have another card? And based off of what they've done this year, they've thrown the ball shorter a lot more than what we saw in 2018 out of that offense. This year, Jared Goff is at 6.7 air yards per attempt. If you go back to that 2018 season, he was 8.7 air yards per attempt. So a lot more short passing, screen passes, empty formations out of the Rams, and just getting the ball out of Jared Goff's hands as quick as possible. So I wonder if that's more of the game plan this time around for Sean McVay, is let's forget about the wide zone play action series. Yeah, that's what he loves to do, but that's also what Bill Belichick is going to be preparing for all week long, and already has the perfect game plan to stop. So that's sort of the cat and mouse game that this matchup presents. Is the Patriots in a way could be forcing the Rams outside their comfort zone on both sides of the ball to do things a little bit differently than what we're accustomed to doing, because Bill Belichick has such a good read on what their foundational plays and their foundational scheme is, especially on offense. So does McVay have another trick up his sleeve, and then how does Belichick adjust to that trick is probably going to decide who wins the game tomorrow night.
We'll find out. Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping using the code PressPass20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code PressPass20. Take the leap and join the Manscaped movement today. Now, I want to look at the defense. We talked about the offense yesterday and how things might look pretty similar there. You just touched on it as well, but defensively, new defensive coordinator than a few years ago when the Patriots last saw the Rams. It's Brandon Staley. What do you know about him and how he's running the defense this time around?
Right. So no more Wade Phillips. Brandon Staley's in that position now. He used to work under Vic Fangio, of course, the Broncos head coach. So it's a very similar scheme to what Fangio runs. But again, similarly to the Rams offense having to think outside the box, I think the Rams defense also needs to think outside the box, because this season, 86% of their snaps have been with either 5 or 6 defensive backs on the field. This is a team that does not play a lot of base defense, similarly to the Patriots. Well, when you go up against New England and they're in 21 personnel with the fullback in the backfield and you're running dime defense, that's like, a bowling ball against bowling pins. It's just an accident waiting to happen, a disaster waiting to happen, I should say. So for Staley, he's going to have to really go with a completely different plan than what maybe they're used to running this season, and not flood the field with defensive backs as much and try to play a little bit more of a sturdier defense in a heavier box. So that's really fascinating to me. And I know this Rams defense, there are a lot of people talking about how good they've been playing this year. The run defense has been pretty solid, but I actually think this is a bad matchup for the Rams, because they don't want to play this style of defense. They don't want to play a style of D against a 21 personnel team where they have to stack the box and they can't really do what they do. So I'm fascinated to see what Staley does. It may be a lot of bear fronts. That seems to be their kind of go-to when they do go against more run first teams like the 49ers. They kind of went to some of the more of those looks, but again, they want to play with defensive backs on the field. They don't want to play in run stopping fronts. They want to play in aggressive pass rushing fronts to let Aaron Donald do his thing. So the Patriots have the offense to kind of make them play outside their comfort zone. It's just a matter of going out there and actually moving number 99, which is obviously not easy. So there's some things that the Rams defense will definitely give the Patriots problems, their aggressiveness, Donald, obviously. But I think in a lot of ways, the Patriots rushing attack matches up really well against the Rams defense. And I'm fascinated to see what Staley does, especially at the linebacker level, where they don't usually put a lot of linebackers on the field.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. And it just all comes back to Aaron Donald at this point.
Always does.
All of our videos, it just always comes down to him. So it's going to be fun to see what happens tomorrow night and if they can, in fact, contain that large, scary man. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.